the email came back. The email.
All right. We're streaming for all of our viewers. Okay. Can you call this meeting to order?
Yes, I call this meeting to order at 5:23.
Oh, and there she is, Graba,
I my kids is having a personal crisis, and I've been on the phone all day with him and all the siblings and wondering how he's doing, and I just lost track.
You're good. Uzziah, on your behalf, just called the meeting to order.
Thank you, sir.
So we're gonna go into roll call if I can find the thing. Okay. Lakeisha. Uzziah.
Yes.
Jackie. Katie.
Here.
Sandy.
Here.
Dee.
Yes.
Justin. I will say, I do think Justin's dog ran away. I did actually see that on Facebook, so that may be why we haven't heard from him. And then Dana,
Is he still out of the country?
I believe so. I just have a bad memory. Okay, roll call. We have a quorum present. Will you seek the minutes or the approval of the minutes?
So we have the minutes from the last meeting.
I think you make a motion to accept the minutes from last meeting.
Second? Second?
I second.
All in favor?
Oh,
you
Yeah.
can't
Yes.
say. No, I was asking if there's any.
Oh, okay,
You
that's
can
fine.
second. You second.
You have a second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Okay.
Any opposed? Director's report.
Okay. It's been a busy month. Things that we've really been focused on are homelessness, and I've had the ISU PhD class, and a lot, again, focusing on homelessness, specifically the Warming Center. As you will see, there have been many a meeting that have taken place. And we haven't had any, one other thing is today, kind of a more fun thing. I don't know if y'all remember DJ Danny Wayne. I've gone on his radio show a couple times. He's a individual in our community who's blind, and he is an advocate for people who are visually impaired. And they had the White Cane Day on 7th and Wabash, and so several people from the blind community came out, showing their, presence in our community. And so Brandon did a proclamation, and I did a little, TV interview about being the ADA coordinator. But that was kind of cool. We didn't have any inquiries this month, but we've got lots of ongoing projects. As I mentioned, the ISU PhD class with Dr. Mary's cohort, they have a class where they act as consultants for some sort of community project. And our community project is the Neighborhood Equity Fund, which they are helping us figure out how we can help neighborhood groups or, pick out a project to beautify, improve quality of life in their community, and then the city will take on that project or select 5 projects a year with the focus on, we want to make sure all parts of the community are reached. And so there's $75,000 set aside for 2026. And so they're also going to be helping us in how do we market that to make sure that all neighborhood groups are.
So this really does run the spectrum of or are there parameters?
That's what they're helping us figure out. This PhD cohort will be helping us. So, the idea is that it's neighborhood groups. So the Rives Neighborhood Association or whatever, that they would say, we want a new sign, or we need new lights in our community, or we have a park and it doesn't have a slide or swings. they would submit that as like a proposal, like these are the things that we want. And to kind of avoid like, oh, well, we're not a 501c3, the city would just select the projects based off of a rubric created by these PhD students. And then the city would project manage all of those things to help kind of avoid like, oh, now you have to go out and bid contractors and do it all. The city will just do the thing that you asked for, but it needs to like fall within the budget of, you know, not 75,000, that it'll be split between 5 or 8 projects. If that makes sense. But focus on equity and ensuring all neighborhoods have access to apply, but then also we're not always giving the things to the Barrington's Grove or College Park. Trying to be mindful. Bus shelters, not a whole lot of progress there in terms of they have not been built, but we're still working on getting those for next year.
When you say they've not been, who's?
Because we've allocated the funds for 2026, so we just have the plans. But that's one of my like projects from the summer internship.
Once upon a time, I don't know if they still do it. I mean, there was a program in the schools where, I mean, kids were actually building houses.
So we, because of like ADA and like we want to make sure everything is universal, we have gotten bids from some different like prefab bus shelters. And we will do most of the install ourselves. It keeps it pretty cheap. Our wastewater department can lay the concrete, and then they can also, I think, do the install. Yes, but I don't have that in my like memory right now, but I have the plan in my office. It's like one's at the up near like the stadium, like that Rural King one. And then the Dreiser Square one, I think Greenwood, is it Greenwood Apartments at like 19th and
Greenwood Manor, I think.
yes.
Yeah.
And then there's another one, like a low income housing that used to be an old school. But I don't remember. Anyway, yeah.
Good location.
Yeah. The city website, if you haven't checked it out, it's pretty nice. I can show you what our page looks like if you're curious. I know we kind of looked at it last time, but if you have feedback, they're seeking feedback. But it's got the like little things on the front. Oh, of course, now it won't load. It's shy. News. Oh, our news has been bumped off. We were on here for the Black History Month nominations, which I'll get to later. But our thing is under Government Boards and Commissions, Human Relations Commission. Sorry that is up there. I don't know how to get it to. But you can go to Black History Month, MLK Day, meeting information. It's a little about of who we are. And then all of these pages have different, like our agendas and minutes are posted there every time. So it's pretty easy to navigate. I've got committee report information for Black History Month and MLK. Warming Center has been like the big time consuming thing. So I've been working on what's called a white flag plan for our city county. And so I unveiled that to the working group today. But essentially we've created an activation plan where our emergency management and our health department, our mayor and the commissioner and the operator of the warming center will convene. And if the certain thresholds based off of some of my weather models that I've been running, I'm tapping into my meteorology skills too. Happy to show you those weather graphs I've been creating. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. They're hungry. No, just kidding. Yes. if a certain threshold is met, that they will then recommend that it activates. The mayor and the commissioners will like sign an activation like notice, and that triggers the warming center to open. And we're working with Pathways, which just happens to be Uzziah's sister-in-law, runs Pathways. We have then also been working with them to establish a funding model, because we can't say like, you must open and not like provide resources. So they've kind of given us a rough number of like how much it costs per day. So the city can put forth like about enough money to fill or have it operate for 10 days. The county is hopefully going to agree to then also a 10-day funding. And then we think that there might be a shortfall. So the Community Foundation and the United Way we're hoping that they will step up and fill that shortfall. We're also in talks with a township trustee. And then we've gotten a few other contacts about a family foundation locally that might be willing to donate, and then some private donors that have given this type of funds in the past. But the goal is to help fund their operation, so that way they, are able to like hire additional staff and pay and operate when it gets to meet these various thresholds that we're looking at. Anyway, there's a bigger task force that will happen later once we get the warming center stuff done. There's an event this Saturday at the Pride Center. It's called the Our Place event. Katie, please excuse my, I don't totally know all the details, but I do know that I'm listed as a panelist. But I can say what it's honoring was it a bar or restaurant? Katie?
Yeah. So Our Place was essentially an LGBTQ plus bar in Terre Haute, and it's the longest amount of years a bar has been opened under a single owner that has served the LGBTQ community in Indiana. There's a lot of specifics there, but essentially it closed in 2001, and I think we're nearing I think it's the 46th anniversary just happened. And so we're bringing folks who worked in that space, we're drag performers in that space, we're patrons, but then bringing panelists who are doing work today to kind of bridge the generational experience for folks. And so it'll just be speaking to some of the work that we've been doing and having an opportunity to honor folks. And we have a plaque recognizing Our Place, and then a poster board for folks if they'd like to sign it or leave encouraging messages from their time there, they can.
The event is on Saturday, October 18th at 4 p.m. at the Pride Center. So you're all invited. I can send you the calendar invite. But yeah, excited to support and kind of learn a little bit more. I think that's part of it. We'll be learning more about the history. So next,
Thank you for being a panelist.
yeah, of course. I was like, I asked like, what did it mean to be a panelist? And he's like, just, talk. And I was like, okay. And I kind of meant more like, okay, I'll think about it. But no, then I was on the flyer. So I'm on my own. But that's okay. It's okay. It's all good. It's kind of on me for,
Like I said before,
yeah. Anyway, next week, I will really be away from Terre Haute. I am in French Lick for the Accelerating Indiana Municipalities AIM Ideas Summit. It's like the League of Cities, but that's what they call it here in Indiana. People from all sorts of cities across Indiana get together for this annual conference. Part of it is, I don't know if it's public, not enough people probably watch this live stream for it to matter, but we're winning an award, and that's part of why I'm going. So we're really excited that we're getting that award for the free transit project. It's like an innovative project in Indiana. So I'll leave Tuesday morning. I'll come back Thursday, go to the Art Spaces dinner on Thursday night. And then the following day, I have that women's leadership program. So that I'll be like, of course I'm reachable, but I won't be like as available as the previous days would be. And then that's it. There's 2 financial reports. We haven't really seen much out of here, but this is good for you all to see because I have one request at the end of the meeting for a potential sponsorship. But we do need to, I remembered this time, to approve the director's report.
Okay.
I didn't last time.
We call to move to approve the director's report. Do I have,
I make a motion to
Motion,
approve the director's
second.
report.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
So the biggest update for the Black History Month banner committee that I wanted to just make sure we stated here, most people I think here know because you're on it or we're at that meeting. So anytime the quorum of our commission convenes, we're required to abide by the open door laws. So I think previously we had more than 3 people volunteer to serve on this committee. So we did have to make some choices to make sure that that committee can stay private for the sake of we don't want those selections announced beforehand. So the selectors have officially been Uzziah, Lakeisha, and Amber. Susie and Ariel are the community members who have previously served and will continue to serve on that selection committee. Dee has agreed to continue in like an advisory capacity, of course, like help, but won't be able to like attend those meetings to ensure that it stays private. You've also agreed to help me with the event planning, which is great. Saving the dates for the 2 events, the reception. I know we talked as a committee about potentially shopping around. We do have the History Center reserved though as an option, but we potentially could move the location for the Tuesday, January 27th. And then the installation, this one will be for sure on Friday, January 30th at 11 a.m. unless it rains. And then it'll be the following Monday, February 2nd. But it's at 7th and Wabash. Wabash Avenue will be closed from 7th to 8th Street for that hour, a little before and a little bit after, for us to install ceremonially the first banner. And I got that approved by the Board of Works. And then the police is supposed to also assist with Class 3 barricades to ensure that when since we'll be standing on the street, that there's protection. But there will also be a Parks Department vehicle, Street Department vehicle, and police vehicles and barricades. We don't meet again, the committee, until November 18th, and that's the selection. Update on the actual nominations. It started off really strong, but we've really kind of plateaued this last week. We have 5. I know, 5 total. Yeah. Last year, I felt like we kind of had a steady stream the whole time, but it really picked up at the end. So I just think I need to tap into a few people. We got a lot of nominations from Dot last year. I haven't had a bunch come through from her, or
She's not going to. She was in a really bad car accident.
oh gosh.
And her sister-in-law and husband were in the car. Her sister-in-law passed.
Oh no. Oh gosh. Well, then I won't.
She's not
No.
doing very
Well, okay. Well, that's heartbreaking. Thank you for sharing that, but
I don't know the details. I don't know who was driving.
okay.
Yeah.
But if you do know anybody that can nominate, maybe give them a nudge to submit. But that's good to know because I just felt like I was like, oh, well, we got, and the other thing was like, we probably got last year 10 nominations for like one person. And so, I mean, unique nominations, it was probably closer to 30 something. But all 5 are unique. I don't think there were any duplicates. But I'm just waiting for people we sent out the letters, and I have posted out on social media quite a few times. We did a press release. Yes, I know, like every time. Yes. I tried to do like the individual people so it would like get a little bit more, oh, that's, Chuck Miles. We love Chuck. So I think that tends to get a little bit more traction.
Is that you know the letters to the churches?
I mailed them, yes. Yeah. Did you get yours?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, that was announced and posted.
Very good. Good. Yeah, I think it was about 30 something churches that I ended up sending it to. I don't have any other comments there. MLK, I said last time, I just need to send out but then I had the open door thing. So I will be sending out a request for October 20th at 5 p.m. to the people who had indicated they were interested, but we will have to narrow it to 3 commissioners to abide by that. I mean, I guess we don't technically for this one, it doesn't have to be secret. I just, I just need to publicize it in the newspaper, I guess is the thing. It just was a thought that I was having. I was like, oh gosh, I need to think through that again.
So every internal committee, we can only have 3.
No, we just have to advertise it, which is like no problem it just has to then be a public meeting. But for those, we can't have the selection committee be a public meeting because it has to be a private process.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it just has to abide by the open door, which I can, if it's a virtual meeting, I can just hit record and, yeah. But I have Monday, October 20th as a tentative, but you'll get an email tomorrow. Old business, I wanted to say thank you to Keisha and Sandy and Jackie for their help at Family Learning Day. If you haven't seen in the hallway,
I saw it was coming in.
it's
really
so nice. And we posted on Facebook on Monday. It did take me a little while to get it all. I was getting hand cramps I'm like tying the little pieces together. And so I finally got it all hung up. And we then posted it on Monday. And there were so many nice little we need more of this in Terre Haute. I love this. So that was just nice. And then I don't think because it was kind of in between the last meeting and now, Dee and I had been reached out to by someone from St. Mary of the Woods. So we did an outreach, a tabling there. It was their Rooted in Wellness Fair. And we talked to tons of students. It was a nice event. I think the one thing that our biggest takeaway is that students there don't have transportation. The nearest bus stop is the IGA in West Terre Haute, which is, you cannot walk there from. So that's something to think about is how can we maybe help facilitate some sort of conversation or something like a shuttle between or there from the IGA to the campus and back. Just a thought. But we, for the most part, are done with all of our tabling events for this year. Well, we went through a lot of stuff, so we will probably need to do an order at the end of this year. Hand sanitizer was super popular. The magnets were super popular. Pencils, not as popular. So pens, we still have pens left, and we still have some notepads. Notepads, I think, only really popped off at the end of the season. I don't know.
The pencils, I think, kids are using
mechanical pencils.
Yes, they
Yeah.
prefer those.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or a stylus on their iPad. So
Oh,
they-
I forget. Yeah,
they're
so many
not
kids,
using
yeah, use a
traditional pencils.
computer every day.
I love a traditional.
Yeah, so that's all. So that'll just be something to think about. If you see something, you're like, oh, we need to get this. Of course, we have a budget, but yes. I forgot to put this in the packet, but here is the press release for this next piece. And then Oh. One thing that has been updated since I sent it to you, the pane of glass has been replaced. So I will be putting that in
Wow.
at the George Ward Pavilion. I don't know. Did you hear about?
I kind of glanced
Okay, you're good.
quickly in the email.
So to kind of share, I did kind of recap a little bit, with Dee and Uzziah. On Sunday, I got a call from Dr. Reynolds about that the George Ward Pavilion had been vandalized. I missed the call at first, but then she texted me, and so we were texting back and forth. I immediately texted Mayor Brandon and our Director of Public Works, Jesse Tohill, and let them know. She had said that they had tried to call the police, but they hadn't heard back. So I said, I will reach out to our police chief. And he said he would send some people to look into it. They weren't able to get to it until later that night. But they did. That we had 2 officers go out that night. Jesse ended up going out that night as well to kind of clean up, and I think he blocked off the area because there was broken glass. The investigation has now been elevated actually, that was the wrong terminology. Chief Barrett did tell me it's not elevated. It was moved over to the state police, not Indiana State University, but Indiana State Police. And they are have an active investigation.
Is that because it's considered
I think that, I think there was just
Yes.
I think there's certainly a worry that it was a bias crime, is what the terminology is. But I think the reason it was moved over to the state police was because it is a state monument. That placard there that has, the little state of Indiana at the top, and it memorializes it. And something about that parcel of land also, because of its proximity to the bridge, is even though it's within a city park, the state police were happy to facilitate that investigation. But of course, they're investigating it as vandalism with the potential. We don't know the motive of it. It seemed like it was just isolated to that one pane of glass. I don't know if it was they were banging at it with the rock, or if there were threw the rock through, but there was a rock inside the light that I have pictures on my phone of what it looks like. So that's where we are now, is we're going to put that statement out just on the city website under news. Questions on that press release or thoughts?
I'm just surprised that it was replaced so quickly.
We didn't have to file. That was so the first thing when I got here, I talked to our Board of Works administrator and I said, do we need to file an insurance claim on this? Mm-hmm. She said, no, because we have budgeted in our Parks Department, put repairs for things like vandalism. And so they went over it. Is it Kastmeyer glass?
Oh, yeah.
They cut us a new piece of glass and installed it today. They went over there on Tuesday, and today's Wednesday. It was so that was something we really wanted to make sure that it didn't sit for months, with a hole in it. So yeah. All right. Our piece of business that we actually need to vote on. I received this today in the mail. The NAACP Freedom Fund dinner is on Saturday, November 15th at 6 p.m. at the Sycamore Banquet Center. We actually have someone here who's on the committee. So if we have questions, we might be able to ask Uzziah. But they have several sponsorship levels, or you can just buy a table or just buy a ticket. In the past, we have purchased a table for this event. I think we've also done an advertisement because I think I made one time for like when they had the state convention here, and they were supposed to have a dinner, and I don't know if I don't think it happened last year, but that's what we've done previously. We do have to let them know pretty soon, so we do have to vote at this meeting. If you look back, this would come out of civic promotions, $4,345 remaining.
And
For dinner.
how is our year, is our fiscal year, so is
No, we're a calendar year.
calendar year. So having that,
We do need to save money in there to buy probably new hand sanitizer and pencils.
I figured it out.
At least 1,000, maybe 1,500 for that. We can get more quotes this year. Keep costs down on that, but
do you have a recommendation as a sponsor for a sponsorship?
I think it would be nice if we at least bought a table. Minimum,
Yeah, for
bought a
sure.
table. And then would you all then go? It's also food, so we can fill that table. I can also ask the mayor if he wants to sit, at our table, but he'll probably get invited. Yes, I have it on my calendar. I am available. We can also be a corporate sponsor and get publicly recognized by name and thanked during the event, logo recognition on the table, recognition as a corporate sponsor in banquet booklet, and a quarter-page ad in the banquet booklet. What does that mean? 2 tickets reserved table at event. Oh, you don't even get a whole table,
No.
but $500 does get you a table.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more, yeah, whole table.
That's what I just looked for me.
I thought
Yeah, when I first looked at it, I thought that too, and then I kept reading, oh, no, that's not included.
But I'm not gonna vote on
that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
this.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of you could, of course, you put other people, you and I are both out of town that day.
If you think you can fill a table, I say buy a table.
I enjoyed the meeting.
I mean, it's only 8. It's not 10. So I think I could probably find 8 people. Would you bring your husband? There you go. It's okay. No, that's fine. Friend,
But if
family.
not,
Yeah, you can have a +1 for sure.
Yeah.
And then will you be at a different table? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll find
Yeah.
Jackie.
What's the event date time again?
November 15th at 6 p.m.
I just checked, I should be available.
Okay. There's 3. Almost halfway there.
Eventually, I will probably my son to see some members of the campus chapter.
And then we can ask Jackie and Amber and Justin and Dana. So there's people potentially.
Yeah.
I think a table. Yeah.
And not a sponsorship? I'm just,
Mm,
what, we have done,
I do like the recognition part.
But then
I mean, we can call and ask and say like, hey, can we get? I don't know if we can do the platinum sponsor. I mean, we could, but we'd just be using up
Yeah,
all
a
of
lot
our
a
money.
lot of the budget, for sure.
Well, I mean, even, I think having at this event, having even the logo and the ad, this, even doing the corporate and then a dinner, would suffice, we don't have to do the platinum. But I think that some recognition in there would be appropriate. Which I think is what you were saying as well.
You're saying.
Oh, but that's, yeah, well, actually, I realize that's, yeah, no, I retract that statement.
I was just trying for clarity, like, wait, what did you say?
Yeah, well, I was saying the corporate, I mean, I
And
may have said, well, I'm just trying, I mean, or maybe in that case, individual ticket, I mean, that's two. So I wasn't really doing the arithmetic.
Or we could say
I
like,
guess we
we could say like, if we gave you $1,000, could we have a table and then also just the logo? Or, I don't know. Well, it's worth asking.
I'm sure it would. I'm sure it would be too.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just ask,
I would
okay.
ask, yeah.
What do y'all, how much do you feel comfortable with out of our budget? $1,000?
I think start with who can go and like who would commit to go.
Right, because if you're just filling a table to fill a table, it's
Yeah.
really not,
Conducive to the budget. But if,
you know what I
say,
mean?
4 people go, then you could do the corporate sponsor. You get 2 tickets and then you would add 2 more tickets. And that's $870.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
who could commit
Yeah,
Hold on.
firmly to
and,
go?
and would
And
enjoy
there's
it.
3 people that can go on there.
To be meaningful.
Yeah, right,
Just going
right,
because
And okay, yeah.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
If it's meaningful to people, not just to.
You could say,
Yeah, I was just kind of like, oh, well, like, if you did 60 times 6, which would be if the 6 tickets plus the 2 tickets that you get with that sponsorship, it's like $1,100. But then I was like, well, we just offer them that. But that's, I don't know. Then you get a table and the sponsorship, but we can do the corporate sponsorship, and then Lakeisha and I will go. We can add one more ticket for Katie, buy one additional ticket, and then if more people want to go from the commission,
mhm.
would that be okay if you then didn't get an additional ticket?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I would just buy my son a ticket.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, that part's good. That's nothing.
Okay.
No, not at all.
So what is that, $810?
Yeah.
Yes.
With the additional?
They may have a table for that as chapter members of the
Yeah.
campus anyway, so, but
Okay.
Yeah, I do think it's important to have that recognition
Mhm.
Oh, how much is
for this, city, the recognition of the city.
um? So we'll approve 810, but up to 1,050 because that would be one ticket for Justin, Amber,
Okay.
Dana, and Jackie if they all say yes.
okay.
Up to what, sorry?
1,050.
Okay. Gotcha.
Do I hear a motion to accept
Oh.
that we need to do?
Somebody can just say so moved.
So moved.
That's good.
Yeah.
So,
And then you do need a second.
Oh, okay.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
Any abstention?
Any abstentions?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
That way we can move forward if it's with the
But it still
sponsorship, it's
passes.
set through
Yeah.
The 23rd.
Yes, yeah, no, so I'll get on that
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Everything is good.
Who do I call? John? Does it say?
Probably.
John Lang. That's all we got, folks.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, it's gonna be just some more vacancies.
Yes,
It's normally,
the convention center.
No, well, it was there last year.
They moved
The year
it.
before that, it used to be the Meadows.
Yeah, it was
It used to be the Meadows. No, that's where it used to be.
It was at the
I think it was
convention
at the convention
center.
last year.
Last year it was the state convention, and then the year before that it was at the convention center.
Yeah. So,
So are we ready to adjourn?
Unless there's statements. Any?
I have something that I was asked to bring to the commission.
Yes.
I know you know Diane Powell. Diane
Yeah.
is the regional director for Senator Todd Young. And and she has asked if she could come and just learn more about, come to a meeting, learn what we do so she can understand more about what we do.
Great.
If there could be some synergy between Senator Young's office and what we're doing, and so I had that request, so
Yeah.
I said I
And
would
if
bring
there's
it forward.
synergy and money, like that'd be awesome.
Mhm.
But
Are
definitely,
you being recorded still?
yes.
Okay,
What did
never
you
mind.
say?
No, yeah.
Oh, wait.
Any other? All right. Oh, we have to adjourn.
Oh, yeah.
We move to adjourn?
So, who did it?
I don't think you can do it.
Oh,
So,
I moved.
Yes, and you're second.
yeah,
Okay.
okay. Okay, I thought you were saying she could.
All in favor of adjourn, do we have to all in favor of adjourn?
It's-
All in